the next book in our series is the present book. Now, this is the cover that I chose for my present book. I did the exact same thing that I did with the past book, where I took a 12 by 12 piece of paper, cut it down to 8 1/4, and then scored it 6, and then scored 4 1/4 plus a 1/16 of an inch out to make my slipcover. Now, a little bit different though is the coloring on this notebook. It does not match my intended collection, and so I have to be aware of that when I go and actually use my collection, because this purple is not in there. Maybe this aqua color is in there, but that's about the only color, in the brown. So when I open and go ahead and do my first page, I need to be able to transition from these colors to this color, and so that's how I did this. I decided to go ahead and add a black matte that's 4 by 8 and rounded the corners so that there's a better transition between the different collection colors. I picked this because I couldn't think of anything else that was as gorgeous as Minte paper, especially when we're talking about having fun at 31. Again, I made this title out of my silhouette and had it cut. I'm debating on where I want to place this. I could place it here, but then I lose the flowers. I could place it here, which I think is probably where it's going to go, or I can place it down here. This doesn't make it seem like it's a part of the design, but I like it landing right about there. I also could put it right here, but again, it's kind of missing out of the design. So I'm thinking about adding it right there. Then I am going to actually glue this one instead of just use my ATG. This is not on like the normal paper. This is on 110-pound cardstock plus some, because you've got the cover underneath. So that looks pretty straight to me. So there's that all done. Woohoo! I don't feel like I need to outline it in black like some of the other things I felt like I needed to, just because that white is really stark against this. Hello, my name is Nikki and I'm with Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. We are talking about the All About Me project. If you haven't, go ahead and check out How to Choose a Collection, the introduction, and then the other notebook about the past. This notebook is currently about my current life. So when we think about topics for current, this album might be a little bit more of a list instead of stories, because the past is a lot of story based, but the present might just be you listing out different things about your present. So to start this album, again, I had to brainstorm, and I just sat down. Clearly there's not as much that I could brainstorm about. I only got it on one page. And that's okay. You know, when you're thinking present and future, you're going to add to this album over time. And so you might tell a funny story or talk about what happened that day, maybe a job transition or something like that that's going to happen in that year in the present. Same with the future. You might be thinking, okay, these are my goals now, but what are my goals 5 years from now, kind of thing. So definitely these are works in progress. My goal is to get this entire book done though by the time I turn 32. So this will definitely be a work in progress as I go through this year. So I do not like doing the front page, and so I'm going to make this kind of like a subtitle page. I split those 4x3s into different categories, and this is one of them, where this is a year to remember. And I just backed this on black cardstock so I can bring more of the black over, and it just allows this piece to stand out from the background. I love this floral. I think it does a good job of bringing in all of the colors minus the dark blue onto my page. So this is just kind of land here. I don't know what happened with this album, but I feel like it's not going to ever lay flat. And it is what it is. So you're going to see it kind of sitting like this every time I work in it. And I'm okay with that for now. I think over time, maybe the paper will bend or something to allow me to do it. But again, Minte cardstock is very heavy. I guess I can go something like that, but whatever. I'm not sure. Now I'm curious, does my other notebook do that? Because this one's fine, but that doesn't have a cover. Does this one lay flat? Kinda. As my pages got heavier, it did lay flat a little bit better. So, it is what it is. I'm not worried about it too much. So that's that. And then I do have a little bit of decorating I want to do. This video is going to be more about the setup of my new album, or my new notebook. And then the next video is going to go through a couple page ideas and pages. So when you do this projects, it's important to kind of already have an idea in mind of the stories that you want to tell. So in order to help me figure out which stories to tell, I came up with my brain dump, where I just sat down and tried to come up with some ideas. I even had to Pinterest some, you know, just to get some maybe journaling prompts. So things like, what would you do if you had unlimited money? That's a good journaling prompt, because that money is definitely a limiting factor when you want to do everything that you want to do. Right? I think I would still scrapbook, even if I had unlimited money. Anybody else? So these are chipboard elements, and it's super easy to make them flatter by just sticking your nail between the chipboard bit and the image bit, and then it becomes a lot flatter. So I'm choosing to pull out this color here in a couple different spots just to make it move across the page. So that, my friends, is my introduction page. If you're playing along with this All About Me Traveler's Notebook series, let me know. I have really been enjoying this different pace from regular scrapbooking. I feel like I haven't been inspired to scrapbook a 12 by 12 in a minute. And so taking a step back, looking at a different size, a different project, really has helped me increase my creativity, or at least feel like I'm doing something every day again. For a while there, I just wasn't doing anything a day, but it is what it is. Don't forget to check everything else out or about this All About Me series. There is a playlist you can take a look at. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.